facing South Florida. We begin with a decision that's going to force a lot of South Floridians to dig deeper into their pockets. The Miami-Dade Expressway Authority voted this week to put in more tolls on two heavily traveled South Florida expressways, the 112 Airport Expressway and the 836 Dolphin. And as you might expect, drivers are not happy. CBS 4's Natalia Zaya reports.
In a 7-6 vote, the Miami-Dade Expressway Authority approved adding a number of new tolls on the Dolphin and the Palmetto, and they're getting rid of toll booths on those highways. You'll pay through SunPass or toll by plate. The cost of each individual toll is going down by more than 35 cents, but you'll soon pay more tolls more often. Tolls now are only collected eastbound on State Road 112, eastbound on the 836 near town, and both ways out west. But under the new proposal, tolls would be collected at no fewer than 16 new locations scattered over both highways. It's expected to generate more than $50 million for the Expressway Authority. Organized opposition to the new tolls calls it highway robbery.
It is an unnecessary burden, an unbearable burden, financial, on the daily commuter and businesses of this county.
MDX argues the money is needed to maintain and improve the highway system.
As the Sunshine continues to attract more and more people and we make improvements at the seaport and airport, our infrastructure needs to be able to keep up with the demand.
Drivers we spoke with were frustrated.
They make you spend so much money on tolls every day, it's ridiculous. All month you're spending a fortune in tolls, you're spending enough money in gas already, and then on top of that you got to spend money in tolls.
MDX argues this is actually a more fair option than it is right now, because as of now, those drivers who drive far east and far west essentially pay for the entire roadway. This will spread out the pay thinner. Natalia Zaya, CBS 4 News.
The vote approving the toll hikes might be tentative. MDX Chairman Maurice Ferre said he was so distressed by the 7-6 vote that it was possible the 13-member board might revisit this hot button issue. And joining me now is the former mayor of Miami, as well as a longtime county commissioner, Maurice Ferre. Maurice, good morning.
Thank you, Jim.
So, you're distressed by this vote. Well, the 7-6 vote you're upset by.
Yeah, I don't like it when the Supreme Court decides things 5-4. It bothers me, you know. And when Congress just gridlocks. 7-6 is almost a gridlock. And, you know, we have gridlocks in our rules. We don't need gridlocks in government.
Now, just to be clear, you were part of the 7. So your vote actually decided.
Yeah.
You were the deciding vote in raising the tolls.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to change my position. But I think I want to get more of the 6. I want it to be, instead of 7-6, I want it to be 8 or maybe 9. And I think if we have 2 new members, if they see some of the studies that we've done and some of the things that are going to happen, I think we're going to increase it.
So let me get this straight. You think the mistake wasn't that the tolls were increased. The mistake was that more people didn't agree with you on the board.
No, not with me, with the studies that have been made. We've been studying this for 6 years. We've had 4 public hearings. This has been advertised, and we've been talking and talking. This has been passed. 2 of the people that voted no were the people that started this. Maurice Gutierrez was chair for 3 years. This is all her planning and her hard work. And
but the opponents say, including Maritza and others, argue that there's too much pain in the community right now, that the community can't tolerate this. For instance, just so we're clear on what we're talking about, you know, if you travel the full length of the 836 every day for work, instead of paying $2.40, you're going to now be paying $4.80 a day. Okay. That's a lot of money to be paying in tolls.
Okay, but Jim, look at it this way. What if I tell you that we save you an hour? How much is your hour worth? If you make $15 an hour or $10 an hour or minimum wage or $20 an hour, the average is higher than $15, as you well know. So I'm asking you this. In California, the people that work in the Port of Los Angeles, they pay $89 to go on those managed lanes. Everybody, including you, call these Lexus lanes. Well, you know what? Lexus is number 8 in the cars. It's Toyotas and Fords and Chevys that use the managed lanes. Why? Because people that are working people would rather save that hour and get there. That hour means a lot of money, and it means being with your family. It means decongesting these roads. It means a better lifestyle.
Well, there's a school of thought, there's a theory here that when tolls go up, it'll be a disincentive for people to use the tolls to the expressways, and what you'll end up doing is forcing more people off your expressways onto your streets, only adding to the congestion.
That'll be the first time in the history of the United States of America that that's happened. It hasn't happened anywhere else. In other words, it doesn't happen that way. And the reason is that people figure out they don't like to pay tolls, but they love the idea that instead of taking an hour and 25 minutes to get from West Kendall to downtown to your job, you're doing it in 35 minutes. Wow, isn't that great?
All right, let's talk about where this money is going. Because of the new toll structure, you're projected to raise what, $300 million?
We're going to raise $53 million a year or more. We pledged that in a bond, and we hope to get $500 to $600 million more.
Now, what is that? So tell us the benefit. So if I'm going to be paying more, what am I getting in return?
Hopefully, then, with that, we'll be able to raise another $200 or $300 million from the state or somewhere else. We've never gotten any state money. We've never gotten any federal money. Now we can get a little bit of money, or private sector money. We get up to $900 million. Then we're going to improve. It's all going to go into 836, and it's going to go into 112. It's not going to go anywhere else. In other words, we're going to improve these roads to such an extent that when people 5 years from now look back, they say, thank God somebody thought of me and made my ride home half of the time that I used to take.
You know, whenever I hear someone tell me that they're going to improve a roadway, all I think of, it means I'm going to have 3 years of construction on that roadway.
Well, that's true. There's no question about it. But you know what's going to guarantee you're going to get your dollar's worth is the bondholders. If you think that people in Miami-Dade County are strong and strident about this, when you see, you know what the bondholders are. They watch every little nickel that you spend. So we're going to spend this properly. It's been very, very well studied. And believe me, it works. It's worked in other American cities. And by the way, I want to tell you this. We're now 11 cents a mile. Orlando, 18 cents a mile. Tampa's higher. Atlanta is higher. All of the places where toll roads work and function effectively are much higher than Miami.
Another argument that the opponents make with regard to this is that by removing the toll booths themselves and making it easier to move through, you'll be attracting, if you had kept the tolls down, you would attract new people, new drivers, and that you would naturally increase your revenues but without having to raise tolls. So in other words, you could get the increased revenue you want without raising the tolls.
Listen, there are professional people in the United States and all over the world that study these things and they hardly ever make mistakes. Wilbur Smith is the firm in the United States that does these studies. He never makes a mistake. These are the projections. That's what we need. To do the improvements on those two roads, we need $800 million.
Now, you talked about we talked before we even sat down, before we started, the fact that anytime you talk about increasing tolls, increasing taxes in any sort of way, that not taxes, but increasing tolls, that this becomes a very unpopular thing, and that you need non-elected officials. You need appointed officials like yourself, like the other MDX board members, to make these decisions, because nobody who faces the voters would ever vote for something like this.
Well, the fact is that the Orlando Authority, which is a 5-member authority, and the Tampa Authority, and the Jacksonville Authority are all appointed. We're appointed by 6 by the governor and 7 by the county commission. So, you know, the governor's responsible. And by the way, of the 7 that we got, 4 were governor appointees, but 3 are county appointees.
But you understand the public anger over it.
Of course. Listen, everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. I want better roads, but I want somebody else to pay for it. Because you know what? In America, roads are free, right? No, that's not right. Roads are not for free. Roads cost money. Somebody has to put up the money. Guess what? In the state of Florida, for the next 5 years, you know what the budget is for construction? $25 million. You know what it is for Miami-Dade County for the next 5 years? $1.9 billion. 5 years. 2.5 million people live here. 13 million people visit here. We've got $1.9 billion. You know what that does? 4 roads. Chrome, 57th, and two other roads. We need to improve the quality of our transportation in this community. And if we don't do it, what happens is, instead of an hour and 20 minutes, in another 5 years, it'll take you an hour and 40 minutes to go from West Kendall to downtown.
When you talked before about the idea of, because it's gotten pretty traction in the press and other places, that you're talking about like a reconsideration of this. So you're really not talking about reconsidering the vote to reverse it. You're talking about trying to win people over to gain more votes.
Well,
so this next MDX meeting isn't going to be that critical to overturn this decision.
No. This is the procedural thing. As you know, we go by Robert's rules. I mean, all these entities in government go by Robert's rules. And Robert's rules, you can make a motion to reconsider. Now, what the chair can do, which is what I did, is I signed it back to a subcommittee, and the subcommittee will make a decision. And then, if the subcommittee decides to reconsider it, then it will be reconsidered.
All right, we're going to leave it there. We'll continue to follow this as you continue to have your meetings, and I'm sure the public will continue to express their opinions on this. So, Maurice Ferre, I appreciate you coming in. Up next, is it a crime to be